Bitter Moon, 1992, a romance that burns slowly and then scorches the earth. On a cruise ship, a rigid British couple meets a paralyzed writer and his younger wife, who lure them into listening to the dark, twisted history of their relationship. It explores the fine line between passion and hatred. The narrative structure is a relentless flashback that peels back layers of dignity until only raw, ugly human nature remains. For those who enjoy morally grey romances and psychological power games. The Fourth Man, 1983, a thriller that feels like a hallucination you can't blink away. An alcoholic writer prone to visions becomes entangled with a wealthy femme fatale who has buried 3 husbands, and he might be number 4. It's a puzzle of symbolism. The movie constantly foreshadows its own plot through visual metaphors, spiders, eyes, religious icons, telling you exactly what will happen if you're smart enough to decode it. This is for viewers who enjoy puzzle-like narratives and surreal imagery. Body Double, 1984, a thriller that plays with your eyes like a magician performing a deadly trick. An out-of-work actor house-sitting in the Hollywood Hills gets obsessed with watching a neighbor through a telescope until he sees too much. It's a masterclass in sleaze and style. The narrative is a labyrinth of mirrors where the movie openly lies to you, blurring the line between acting, reality, and voyeurism. Essential viewing for anyone who loves stylized, retro 80s suspense. Thirst, 2009, a vampire movie that trades sparkles for guilt, blood, and moral decay. A devoted Catholic priest volunteers for a medical experiment, dies, and returns to life with a craving for human blood, and a dangerous attraction to his friend's downtrodden wife. It flips the vampire genre on its head. Instead of being cool and powerful, the vampirism here is a clumsy, messy disease. It blends pitch-black comedy with genuine horror, exploring what happens when a man of God turns into a monster of desire. Perfect for fans of old boy and Korean cinema dripping with style and violence. Audition, 1999, a romance that whispers sweet nothings before screaming in your face. A lonely widower holds a fake audition to find a new wife and falls for a quiet, mysterious woman who seems too perfect to be true. This is the ultimate genre betrayal film. It spends the first half lulling you into a gentle melodrama, only to pivot into one of the most shocking psychological assaults in cinema history. If you love movies that physically hurt to watch but are impossible to look away from, this is for you. Bound, 1996. A noir thriller so tight it feels like a wire around your throat. A plumber just out of prison meets a gangster's girlfriend in an elevator. Together, they plan to steal $2 million, but the mafia is watching every move. Before The Matrix, the Wachowskis made this masterpiece of tension. It's a bottle movie, mostly taking place in 2 apartments, that relies on pure suspense, mechanics, and the sweating desperation of a plan going wrong in real time. The editing is razor tight. Every cut feels like a ticking clock. And you will hold your breath for the last 20 minutes, guaranteed. If you love smart heist movies and 90s indie style, this is for you. Eyes Wide Shut, 1999. A psychological descent into a dream you desperately want to wake up from, but can't. A successful doctor steps out into the New York night after a marital argument, wandering into a hidden world of elite obsession and danger. This film builds tension without a single chase scene. It relies on a suffocating atmosphere of paranoia, where the scariest thing isn't what you see, but what you almost see behind closed doors. You don't just watch this movie, you confess to it. Lust, Caution, 2007. A spy thriller where the weapon isn't a gun, it's seduction. In World War II era Shanghai, a group of student radicals plots to assassinate a high-ranking official by sending a young woman to seduce him. But the line between acting and feeling begins to blur. It explores how pretending to be someone else can slowly erase who you actually are. The film is famous for its explicit intensity, but those scenes aren't gratuitous. They are the battlefield where the power dynamics shift and the betrayal becomes inevitable. A film that proves the most dangerous lies are the ones we tell ourselves. for viewers who love slow burn historical dramas with high stakes. The Fly, 1986, a tragic romance disguised as a monster movie. A scientist builds a machine that can teleport a human. He tests it on himself to impress a journalist, but a fly gets inside with him. This movie tricks you. You think you're watching a simple monster movie, but it's actually a tragedy about sickness. The transformation is disgusting, yes, but the real nightmare is the emotional distance it creates between two lovers. Ideal for fans of horror with emotional weight and incredible practical effects. Is this the best remake of all time? Let me know what you think. Decision to Leave 2022. A romance that happens in the silence between words. An insomniac detective investigates a man's death in the mountains and finds himself suspiciously drawn to the prime suspect, the dead man's wife. The editing is the storyteller here. It uses match cuts and impossible transitions, layering the detective's imagination over reality, to show how obsession blurs the line between professional duty and personal desire. For those who love melancholy romances and visual storytelling. The Handmaiden, 2016, a thriller that unfolds like a puzzle box. Every time you think you've opened it, the shape changes. In 1930s occupied Korea, a con man hires a young pickpocket to become the maid of a wealthy heiress, planning to steal her inheritance and lock her away. It masters the art of the perspective shift. The film tells the story 3 times, and each time, the truth mutates. It rewards patient viewers by recontextualizing scenes you thought you understood, turning victims into predators and back again. You think you know who is playing who? You have no idea. At number 4, we have Rebecca, the 2020 version. I mean the 1940 Hitchcock masterpiece. A ghost story without a ghost, where a memory is deadlier than any monster. A shy young woman marries a wealthy widower and moves into his massive estate, only to find that the house and the servants are still devoted to his deceased first wife, Rebecca. It features one of cinema's greatest villains who barely lifts a finger, Mrs. Danvers. The film builds terror not through jump scares, but through the crushing weight of the past and pure psychological gaslighting. If you love gothic atmosphere and psychological tension, this is the gold standard. Blue Velvet, 1986. A mystery that peels back the skin of suburbia to show the rot underneath. A clean-cut college student finds a severed human ear in a field, leading him into a dark investigation involving a tortured lounge singer and a gas-inhaling psychopath. It is the definitive nightmare logic film. It masters the juxtaposition of innocence and perversion. The scariest moments happen in broad daylight, and the villain is arguably one of the most terrifying, unpredictable forces ever captured on film. Essential for fans of surrealism, neo-noir, and David Lynch's twisted Americana. Is Frank Booth the scariest villain of the 80s? Yes or no? Vote below. Mulholland Drive, 2001. No one films a dream or a nightmare quite like David Lynch. David Lynch gave us Twin Peaks and the twisted world of Blue Velvet, but Mulholland Drive is his absolute peak. If Blue Velvet was a bad dream, this film is a full-blown hallucination that refuses to let you wake up. A bright-eyed actress arrives in Los Angeles and meets a woman with amnesia recovering from a car crash, leading them down a rabbit hole of identity and Hollywood darkness. It operates on dream logic. There is a specific scene in a theater called Club Silencio that physically changes the movie's DNA. It doesn't give you answers, it gives you feelings of dread and ecstasy that linger for days. What is your theory on the blue box? Let's argue below. Vertigo, 1958. You can't have a list of romantic thrillers without the man who perfected them, Alfred Hitchcock. While Rebecca haunted our dreams, Psycho made us scream and Rear Window made us watch. Vertigo makes us feel. Hitchcock took every one of his obsessions and poured them into this single story. It is beautiful, tragic, and absolutely perfect. A detective with a crippling fear of heights is hired to follow a friend's wife, who seems to be possessed by a spirit from the past. It invented the dolly zoom to visually replicate dizziness, but the real trick is the narrative structure. It reveals the big twist halfway through, shifting the genre from a mystery to a tragic psychological study of control. Essential for fans of classic cinema and psychological character studies. It's not just a movie, it's a spiral you can't climb out of. Your turn now. How many of the 15 have you already seen? And which romance thriller should every viewer experience at least once? Leave your pick below. If you want more, you know what to do. And I'll meet you in the next story.